Hello everyone, my name is Novak and I'm a sophomore at Boston University currently majoring in biochemistry and molecular biology. This past fall semester, I participated in the Grenoble Science program in Grenoble, France, as the name would suggest. Tucked underneath the French Alps, Grenoble was a fantastically delicious retreat from the stress and competition of the United States, where I was afforded the opportunity to come into my own and experiment with a newfound sense of independence. I matured greatly as a consequence of my experience abroad, simultaneously expanding my worldview while also grounding myself in my present reality, and gradually becoming more appreciative of the life that I was living. From tackling the rigorous program of studies that was presented to us to learning how to navigate the world as a confident, self-sufficient adult, I definitely noticed significant personal and professional growth arising from the immersive adventures that I had through study abroad. However, progress came at a certain expense certain times, and I can't say that the path that I took to come to this point was a straight one. It was full of twists, turns, roundabouts, and dead ends, so I know from personal experience I would have benefited from someone offering their words of wisdom as to how to elevate their study abroad experience. So, from me to you, here are 9 little pieces of advice that I can offer to make the most out of your time abroad. 1. Your spirit and bank account willing, travel as often as you can. Study abroad is one of the most accessible opportunities that you can get as a college student to travel around the world and drink up the wonders that a country has to offer. Embrace your inner wanderlust and explore different cities. Plan trips with friends and don't be opposed to embarking on a spontaneous weekend retreat the night before, given the ease of international travel in other places. In my personal opinion, regret stems not from what we do, but from what we don't do. So avoid those symptoms of regret and make sure that you see all that you possibly can while abroad. 2. That being said, don't neglect your studies. It can be disturbingly easy to forget that the purpose of study abroad is, well, evidently, to study. Although most of us will preoccupy our time with travel, it's important to maintain a balance between leisure and academics. Keep up with your classes and allot certain times of the week to revise study material. Much of the classes in study abroad are structured around exams, so the act of consistently reviewing helps you enormously. Furthermore, the presence of different student-teacher dynamics and different curriculums as well in study abroad is going to aid you in modifying and fine-tuning your study technique. 3. Experiment with all assortments of food, particularly local cuisine. Your taste buds will thank you for this. A different culture implies different customs and especially different forms of food. With all the aromas and flavors, feed your obsession and swallow your fear for the unknown. Just eat. There's an abundance of local delicacies, desserts, and drinks to try. There's no telling when you're going to get another opportunity like this, so live in the moment and care about the extra weight later on. Entertain your stomach by entering into restaurants and bistros serving traditional cuisine, biting into food that you would or actually would never have dreamed of trying. 4. Practice the local language frequently. Language is essential for communication and navigation, so it's fundamental that you remember some phrases and vocabulary from the local language, such that you don't really have difficulty in ordering, say, from restaurants, asking for directions, or requesting assistance. To do that, ensure that you practice the language in your free time through language learning apps, journaling, or conversation with locals. This is especially convenient if you have host parents. Moreover, at the end, you might have successfully learned another language that's not going to only give you a heads up in these increasingly competitive work environments, but it's also going to provide you with the personal satisfaction knowing that you've expanded your mental horizon and you now have the ability to speak with a different group of people. 5. Make foreign friends and potential pen pals. Warming yourself up to local students or even patrons at a coffee shop is an excellent means of both practicing your language skills and becoming accustomed to the cultural practices of the place you're studying abroad in. These people will be your gateway into local entertainment, as they can offer you insider advice as to which museums, sporting events, cafes, restaurants, and bars to visit in your area. Most importantly, you'll be sowing the seeds of a potentially wonderful and magnificent relationship with people who might become your lifelong friends. 6. Take the opportunity to work in a foreign environment. For all of you aspiring to beef up your resume and acquire those necessary technical skills, sign up for an internship abroad or participate in a volunteership if you're granted this opportunity. Not only will you enhance and deepen your professional portfolio by working for a foreign employer, but you'll also be exposed to a different work environment and a colorful cast of colleagues with a variety of different backgrounds. It's a wonderful chance to acquire valuable experience in your field of interest while also expanding your network and diversifying your applicable set of skills. 7. Budget, budget, budget. Sorry to burst your bubble, but study abroad, as with most experiences, has a secret price tag associated with it. As much as we would all love to live out our luxurious fantasies and inspire envy in our friends with our gorgeous Instagram posts, we do have to acknowledge that most of these things cost money. It's not advisable to empty out the contents of your bank account in the first week. So if you are paying out of pocket, make sure that you appropriately budget out your savings account to account, say, for food, travel expenses, leisure, and emergency funds. 8. Observe and honor the local culture. Be respectful. Recognize that you are in a different place with a different set of traditions, customs, values, and a code of conduct. Therefore, you have to be on your best in both appreciating their lifestyle and not pointing yourself out as the bumbling, inconsiderate American tourist. Get helpful tips from books concerning the culture, your host family, local students, or in my case, even your waiter, in how to speak and hold yourself while you're maneuvering through this different environment. By educating yourself beforehand, you can avoid many common cultural faux pas and modify your perspective on the world. 9. Remain present and appreciate the little details. Time flies during your study abroad experience, and so therefore remember to remain grounded and to be grateful for your current situation. Perhaps you might be traveling to another country. Take a break from the sightseeing and float through the streets, taking the time to breathe in the sights of smaller neighborhoods. Embrace your inner mom and take plenty of photos. Buy postcards and keep ticket stubs as small mementos, reminders of possibly forgotten stories and experiences. Such physical souvenirs allow us to look back and to reminisce, to revel in our nostalgia, and be appreciative for all that we had during this time. And there you have it, 9 tips to help you exploit all that your study abroad experience has to offer. I would personally like to thank Boston University and the Study Abroad office, both there and here, for extending this lucrative and memorable opportunity to me. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and I sincerely hope that you lot enjoy your international adventures. Bon voyage!